thrown by my friend Kedwin, who is a bartender at the bar that I work at. And I wanted to promote it because, once again, I think it's amazing representation. And I love how the general public has basically latched on to Heated Rivalry. So if you enjoyed that series and you like early 2000s dance music, definitely come on Sunday. Here's a picture. There will be a live show. Nico, there will be a live show. So do not come if you're...
Wait a minute. Wait a freaking minute here. Hold up. That's a little tone deaf. I wouldn't be making fun of people's misfortunes because you never know how close you are to that misfortune. So yeah. Hello everybody. Okay? I'm back. I'm back with another one. That's what I'm back with. We live. And we ain't with the blow drive. Got my glasses on. Y'all, this video, I don't know what this about to be from Nico. Yeah, I really don't know what this about to be from Nico. He put a trigger warning up. It's on cancer, so... Oh my. We'll see. Wow. Yeah, let's see what he about to say. Good Lord.
Squeamish. It's not gonna be me. It's not gonna be me. It's not gonna be me. I'm just the promoter. But with that being said, on to the actual topic. Today we are here to talk about Gak Trizzy. Nico, who is Gak Trizzy? If you did not know, he was an OnlyFans content creator that usually stayed within the Black sector of OnlyFans. I remember he also did straight content, but it was mostly with other men. And then he popped up on the TV show called Bobby Lights, I Love You, Purr, on Zeus Network. And I've lightly talked about that show because Grandy Glaze was on it, and I usually reference it whenever I talk about his alleged bisexuality. But honestly, I can't tell you what he did on that show because I didn't watch that show. I don't watch Zeus Network. I told y'all this. But we currently have an update on where he's been because he did vanish from the public eye. Because I remember I would see him in the blogs occasionally and then he just vanished. So we're going to do a Where Are They Now with him, and unfortunately he is in the hospital. Nico, what do you mean? Oh yes, oh yes. I was actually sent this by someone on my Patreon, and essentially it's a video of Gak Trizzy in the hospital talking about how he unfortunately has cancer and the doctor believes he only has a couple of months to remain.
And how long am I supposed to take the chemo?
That's the thing, man, is that for this very particular thing, it's hard to say. It's based on two things. It's based on how you respond to it. So like, you know, like looking at the you know, like doing chest imaging, looking to see if there are any like lymph nodes, looking to see that the fluid goes away, because that could all be because.
And through the multiple TikTok videos, he slowly began to document his experience with chemotherapy, and it basically went into a situation of him being told by the doctor that there is no estimated end to his chemotherapy for the sole fact they have to wait for how his body responds to it. And once again, he has videos of the doctors talking to him being in the hospital bed, him feeling like since he has no other option, he might as well just crash out and let it all out.
The motherfucking things this begin. Grown ass kids, nigga, yeah.
As you saw in this video, this man is seriously sick. And I want to preface this by saying it is cancer again. And I only say that because unfortunately, when we do see adult performers get sick or pass away, people automatically assume it's related to a life-altering STD. It's related to substances that took them out of this world. I mean, even when Tim Kruger, the popular content creator who founded Tim Tales, passed away, and his partner came out and told the public the explanation of what happened when when he passed away, people were still assuming no, it has to be substances, even though the partner said it was explicitly not that case. But with that being said, I'll leave the conversation up to y'all. Did y'all know that he was going through this dire situation? Were you a fan of Gak Trizzy? Because people either loved him because of the tattoos or hated him because of the tattoos. Nico, I'm not gonna go in or like crack jokes about somebody that's in the hospital, so I'm not gonna go there. But he was a very polarizing figure on if you rocked with him or not with his content. But with that being said, I'll leave the conversation up to y'all, and I'll see you guys next time. Boop.
Yeah, that's crazy. That is very crazy. I don't even have any words for it at this time. Like, and then you have someone in the hospital and you say, oh, well, we don't know how long we're gonna give you chemo. What do you mean? You're a doctor, you're supposed to know these things. Something just doesn't seem right, because I also know somebody else who's going through somewhat the same thing. And the hospital just seems, the whole situation just seems off. You know, if the person does have cancer and is going through what they're going through, shouldn't they be reassured by the hospital and the doctors? In some kind of aspect, shouldn't they be reassured that if it's curable, then there's a foreseeable end? Or if it's not curable, then it's just not curable. Not, I don't know if the chemo's gonna, you know, how long the chemo's gonna, like, something. You know? Y'all go check out Nico's Aesthetic. That's whose video I just watched. Yeah, that's crazy. That is freaking crazy. Anywho, something else. Okay, so we're somewhere else. NCAT, NBA cheer. Okay. Pending indictment. What? I'm not going that. I'm not going there. I don't know. I got enough enemies. I'm not talking about T.S. Anderson. I ain't got time. Hey, go ahead. Y'all talk about that. I am good. Ooh. Giselle, what you got going on? Let me see this.
Whoa.
Because Baddie don't miss.
I just built a
Baddie
buzzing app
don't
in
miss.
Base 44.
Hold up.
Guys, Nina just built an app.
Impossible.
I can't code.
Interesting. Can it generate reports?
I desire a man who can communicate to me. Tell me what's, you ain't gotta be perfect, but I can't work with what I don't know. Tell me what I don't know. Love me, be gentle with me. The Bible says that he washes her with the word of the Lord.
Absolutely. Super happy for him and for the church. Like, New Birth really needs a first lady.
Yes.
That's important. And we need New Birth to be happy with Jamal because he has a lot of tuition to pay. All of my girls will be in college. So,
y'all, Giselle Bryant has held back long enough when it comes to her ex-husband Jamal Bryant and his new wife Carrie Turner Bryant. But the tea she's finally spilling, baby, it's messy. When Carrie and Jamal went public, people were already side-eyeing the relationship. Between Jamal's long history of cheating rumors and Carrie stepping out in ways that had folks questioning if she really understands her role as First Lady, everyone wanted to know, how did this marriage really begin, and is it genuine? Well, according to Giselle, Kari didn't appear out of nowhere. She allegedly swooped in right in the middle of her marriage, and the way it all went down, both Jamal and Carrie played her dirty.
I can't tell you how happy I am, how happy my family is, how happy my children are, and I hope my church is happy for me.
Don't speak for me. Don't speak for me. Especially when you in your wrong, daddy. Don't speak for me. Okay? Don't speak for me. Now, that would piss me off. I would have to call the church. I'm not happy for him. I don't know what the heck he doing. I'm not happy for him. You sitting around here cheating on my mama, and now you done married this other lady. I'm not happy for him. Pay me.
So on November 15th, 2024, Jamal Bryant announced that he was a husband yet again. But this time, he was married to Carrie Turner, a faith-based author and speaker who also happened to be a minister in his church, New Birth Missionary Baptist Church in Atlanta, Georgia. But before they made it public, it was common knowledge among the church community that they had been messing around secretly for quite some time. And it was honestly more or less an open secret at New Birth. Both of them were spotted out and about at an ice cream shop in Florida, and things escalated from there. As soon as people saw them at that ice cream shop, baby, all hell broke loose. Carrie was called all sorts of names, none of which included a child of God, and she also thought that their journey was going to end before it had even begun. But girl, they were so quick to knock down any of the rumors, and they summed it up as just a professional meetup and nothing more.
When we got to the ice cream parlor, I was not there because I was kicking it with him. I was there because we were solidifying my doctoral program. That was the reason why I was in Florida at the time. His cohort was there. I came down the last day so that I was able to finalize everything with getting my cohort off the ground, which he was so instrumental in.
But the scandal...
And why was he instrumental in it, darling? Why was he instrument? It's one thing for you to flaunt this BS in front of our face, but for you to sit there and call us stupid while you sit as a clergy member in the church. I mean, who are you talking to?
Somehow brought her and Jamal much closer, and they started dating privately because there were a couple things that they needed to work on before committing and coming public with their relationship. After they got married, you best believe that Carrie and Jamal went straight to work clearing up any and all rumors about them. If you ask Carrie how she and Jamal met and wound up together, she'll tell you that it was a fairy tale sent by God. And they met after she got a job working at his church, and most of the time that they spent together, they kept it short and professional. Carrie talked about how it was her first time working in a mega church, and she didn't want to get into anything that would cause people to believe that she obtained her position in any way that would jeopardize her integrity.
And so people were like, oh, they've been dating since 2017. I didn't know this man in 2017. I knew of him, but I didn't know him.
But that's really what Giselle can't take seriously, because she reportedly knew that Carrie was in the picture, especially when she and Giselle tried to give their marriage a second chance. Giselle and Jamal were married from 2002 to 2009, and they had 3 daughters together. When the two of them later got divorced, Giselle admitted that she couldn't stay anymore because Jamal cheated on her every chance he got. He was already a pastor by then, but that reportedly didn't stop him from having a new woman on his arm every other night. And even though he knew he had a wife at home, it still didn't stop him. There are even allegations that Jamal had a love child while he was married to Giselle, and he had paid off the mother to stay quiet about it. Girl, things got so bad in their relationship that Giselle had to check into a mental institution after she found out that he had a baby on her. They remained friends and they saw each other every now and again, but they maintained their co-parenting relationship. And being in close proximity to each other got them back together again. Giselle made it public that they were officially back together, and this time they were taking it slow, But she did like the direction they were heading, and she was open to seeing what this rekindled relationship would look like. Giselle put all of the cheating in the past because she loved spending time together as a family and didn't want to hold his mistakes over him for the rest of his life. She wanted them to learn and grow from what they had experienced.
And that's a problem. Once you let go, let go. Especially when it becomes, you've done it multiple times, you've had multiple chances, and within that time, you still did what the fuck you wanted to do. Giselle, there comes a time where you just got to say, and you did, y'all already, you know, but I'm just saying, like, that's a problem. Because you still got to be in contact with this person for the kids. My brother is going through this exact thing, and I don't think he understands that. No, sir. Y'all were together for a purpose. The purpose was to bring those kids in this world. Fate saw that you did it. But what fate won't see is the fact that you don't need to be together. Sometimes you got to see that yourself. Just because you got to talk to them, y'all can be cool, but googly eyes got to go. I can't be with you. There's a reason why we broke up. You know? But Giselle already did what she had to do, so.
She was so positive about the potential of them going somewhere again. And she was confident that they had wisdom and that they had learned from what had messed them up in the...
By the way, in the midst of her doing all of this is when Monique and Candace were steady just nip. Every chance they got, especially Monique. Monique brought a whole notebook out and embarrassed her on national TV about this man. That would have been the last straw for me too. I'm sorry.
First place, and they were not going to go down that road again.
I think I've seen so much maturity in him. He has an overwhelming sense of humility and humbleness. And I think that we communicate so much better now. I mean, our communication is on point.
But it wasn't long after Giselle talked about her and Jamal getting back together that she came out to announce that the relationship was going nowhere.
Right.
She blamed it on COVID because with Giselle in Potomac and Jamal in Atlanta, they couldn't see each other as much as they wanted to, and they had no choice but to call it quits. So you mean to tell me that they were so serious about each other, yet they couldn't make a long distance relationship work for a little while, especially considering they had already been married before for years? Okay, girl, if you say so, Giselle. But Giselle never changed her story, and she just said that things weren't meant to work out between the two of them and they would stay friends. But girl, she started singing a completely different tune once Jamal and Carrie announced their engagement. Giselle threw little jabs here and there, but she never tried to fully speak on it. That is until she was directly asked what she thought of Carrie. And now she could have just kept it cute and said nothing, and the whole thing would have been forgotten. But Giselle leaned into it and made it clear that she's met Carrie and she was definitely out of her league.
I've seen her in person. I've met her. Okay. Not in my league.
Of course, Carrie wasn't too thrilled about her husband's ex-wife speaking on her, and she clapped back, saying, "Put me at the table where women support other women. Being a mean girl ages you, honey. And who has time for that when you can be living, loving, and aging gracefully?" Still, Giselle didn't take anything back. She said what she said, and she was standing on it any and every day of the week. And we've all seen folks talking about just how Carrie and Giselle resemble each other. So it's either Jamal has a type or something, or there's something funny going on around here. I mean, they even are part of the same sorority. It looked like Carrie picked up a handbook and studied it down to the T. And according to Giselle, the internet was right on the mark with that one. Do y'all remember when Monique brought out a binder full of receipts right after Giselle opened up about her relationship with Jamal?
I mean, Jamal and I have been through a lot. You know, there's a lot that people say, and we're
But when y'all were announcing that y'all got back together, he told his girlfriend at the time that it was just reality TV and it wasn't true.
Thanks.
How do you know that? How do
I
you
know because the lady who he's been dating for years,
She's been
only time
waiting
we took a
to
pause in
drop
a
these
relationship
receipts
was
for a while.
She's a pastor, and she reached out to me a long time ago. She sent a bunch of screenshots, pictures of him in her bed and everything else. And I was like, yeah, I'm not going there. I don't play dirty. But
Sounds like
since
rumors.
Giselle likes to play dirty,
like rumors, right?
I'll go ahead and return since I'm here right now. But he's definitely been talking to another woman, and it's clear conversations. And if you like to see him, I got him in my little receipt book right here.
Monique said a lot of things that Giselle definitely didn't want coming out. She exposed Jamal for stepping out despite promising Giselle that he was all in. And Monique didn't even need to go searching for the other woman because the woman Jamal was dealing with directly messaged her and exposed everything. She said that she and Jamal were seeing each other and didn't stop, even though he had begun trying to rekindle with Giselle. She shared texts between the two of them, and Giselle sat there and stoically took it in.
She said, for me, it's not a good idea to travel to Atlanta if you're working on putting your family back together again. He says, what are you talking about? She says, what am I talking about? And she screenshots the actual article.
Are we really listening to this? This is the same person who tried to run and cry wolves to Bravo because somebody was spreading true about her family.
What are you talking about?
Can we not?
It's
Can we
not real. It's reality.
No, it's not.
According to Giselle, Jamal had told her all about the other woman, and she knew who that person was. So whatever Monique was trying to expose at the reunion was not a surprise to Giselle one bit. And that woman that Monique brought up at the reunion was allegedly Carrie Bryant. Word is that Carrie was in the picture for a long time, even when Giselle and Jamal were trying to fix their marriage. Their relationship was more or less an open secret at the church, like I said. And Carrie was always quick to deal with any woman at New Birth who she believed was potentially a threat to her getting with Jamal.
Afraid to let her go because she gonna blow the shit up the same way she blew the last pastor up in Texas.
Y'all, and sources are saying that Jamal wasn't exactly the first pastor that Carrie tried to get with. And once she got Jamal, she wasn't going to let anyone get in the way, not even Giselle. So all that talk about Carrie trying to look like Giselle just to keep Jamal's attention might be true after all. And the internet definitely has something to say. I think she purposely tries to resemble Giselle, and Giselle is aging gracefully without all the makeup and the fillers. He found someone who looks physically as close to Giselle as possible. Same look, body size, and even the same sorority. But what do you guys think about this? Sound off in the comments and make sure you hit that like and subscribe.
Baddie TV girl, thank you again, but this is terrible. This is, I can't even. I can't. What do you mean? Y'all be having so much going on for no reason at all. But on the opposing end of it is it paying? Giselle, your kid's going to school paid for. Carrie said she wanted the same. Can't hate the play, gotta hate the game. It's terrible. But she said, baby, I got a few cars I want right now. And a house, you know? Shoot. Is it paying? Did it pay? You know? I don't know why we watching that. Candy slams Todd for living in. I needed to watch this actually.
Did Candy in not so many ways just call Todd Tucker a squatter?
I don't know.
Well, according to court docs, that's exactly what she's accusing him of. Do you know that the divorce between Kandi Burruss and Todd Tucker has been a little contentious, but it seems like they were trying to make things work. Well, now, according to TMZ, Candy's accusing Todd of living in her guest house rent-free, not contributing anything when it comes to their children. So according to new court docs obtained by TMZ, they're saying that Candy's accusing Todd for not contributing financially to the home and the care of their children as they continue to fight over custody and support. Candy says since they separated, Todd's been living in their guest house in Atlanta, which she says is her own property purchased before the marriage, which we saw on RHOA. In the doc, she says that Todd hasn't paid, quote, single expense for the maintenance and upkeep of the home to include utilities, gas, lawn care, water, pest control, or even fees associated with the alarm system. Not only that, Candy also claims that Todd hasn't provided any support for the home where their two kids, Ace and Blaze, live. She says that she has been the traditional caregiver for the kids despite her active professional life as an entertainer and reality TV star. And she says that she's hired a nanny that picks up most of the slack despite his claims on social media that he's an active father. In Candy's court filing, she claims that the kids have had 2 birthdays since she filed for divorce in November of 2025. She says that Todd attended their separate parties but refused to contribute to the cost. She also claims that he hasn't helped her out with tuition, fees, or school supplies and hasn't kicked in for child support. Are you kidding me? Not only that, Candy admits that she's been in New York, as you know, on Broadway, and she will be in New York until March. But despite her work commitments, she's been flying back and forth to see the kids. That's 8 shows a week that she's doing. Candy is asking the judge to order Todd to pay child support and sharing the expenses for the kids. She's also asking the judge to issue an order laying out the parenting time for each. Not only that, the streets have been talking. You remember just a few weeks ago, People magazine said that the reason why Candy filed for divorce was because, allegedly, Todd was entertaining other women. Funky Dineva went on his YouTube channel this week and revealed that the name of one of the women is Helen. Okay. It also makes me wonder if Candy has found out that maybe Helen or one of the other women that Todd might be dating now has come over to her guest house, her property. I don't blame her.
Child. And why would, Funky, that's so messed up. You just gonna add flame to the fire. You love a mess. That's crazy. But we know it pays, so I don't know what to say about this whole divorce situation, except Mama Joyce is probably sitting there sipping her tea right now. And them sisters probably sitting there sipping their tea right now, just waiting until Candy say, Mama, go ahead. And as soon as she say, Mama, go ahead, Mama Joyce can go across his head. Mama Joyce told you, girl, you gotta listen to your mama. She know. She ain't never like him. She said, I'm gonna kick her ass. That's what Mama Joyce said. Come on. I'm gonna kick her ass. That's what Mama Joyce said. That's what Mama Joy said. Now, the terrible part about all of this is on the show, Todd has openly stated, I mean, they were supposedly joking, this was supposedly conversation, but Todd has openly stated that Portia's a bad one. So, let's just hope something don't happen between Portia and Candy and Portia comes out and say, well, he tried to get at me too, girl. And then all of a sudden now we got a whole situation where Todd done tried to fuck half the cast and his secret opportunity came when he bought the whole city, when he bought up a nice block to make sure he was stable. He got kids, but oh Lord, that's crazy. That is crazy. That is so, yeah. Thank you, Kempire. Y'all go follow Kempire. He's amazing. I'm not joining no paid subscription, no Kempire. You good, but I am not doing that. But I would say yes. Followers, go ahead and subscribe. Join his paid subscription as well. Support the channel. Support him. Support our brother. Alright, Wall. Yay. What you doing? What you doing? Eat, ow, foul. Now, come on. Dynamics. Okay. Ha! Did that. Blacks are lazy. They're lazy or they're just tired? Are they lazy or are they just exhausted? Okay? Answer that, because I need to know. Why would they do? Shut up. I ain't talking about nothing political. I'm human. No, you're not. Ooh, you was on Chasing It. Not binge worthy. It was on Chasing Atlanta. No, I don't even watch it, but no, binge. What you doing? Fresh and Fit not monetized? That's crazy. Y'all doing too much. The Impossible Part. I am not going to review that. We're going to keep moving. Amen. Alright, y'all. I'm just like scrolling. But I really don't have much to talk about. I did catch Funky's live earlier, and I do want to say, while I am still a fan of Funky Dineva, sometimes he can be a little bit tone deaf. He can. And I say that with the greatest respect. But in the times that we are in, where this economy is what it is for a lot of people, I'll say even a lot of us, to have on your video you talking about who was evicted and who wasn't and making light of it, too soon, friend. Too soon, man. You gotta, like, because a lot of people, I work in a department where I see a lot. Okay? Hell, I myself am going through. And to hear someone make light of it, to joke about it, to, oh yeah, hee hee ha 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 ha, while you sit on your stepping stool. It's just, no, I'm sorry. I can't accept certain jokes. I would never make light of someone being evicted from their home and coming home and finding their things on the outside. I've seen it before. It is a terrible thing because you come home to people rummaging through your things. When I was living in the apartments in Kennesaw, Georgia, it would be like a normal thing. Every week you would see, or every month you would see somebody, and they didn't care. You were like a day or two late, I'm sorry, you were evicted immediately. It was crazy. I didn't even know how they were able to get these evictions so fast. They didn't even give people 30 days. And to see how some people's things was just strode out on the streets like that, it wasn't funny. I don't think homelessness is a joke. I don't think homelessness is funny. I'm not laughing at something like that. And I think, Funky, I think you should really kind of think about that when you go on these little rants. Because if we're really talking about it, while you have your stepping stool now, don't get too high and get knocked back down, sir. Don't do it. Because on the way down, you're going to see them same people that you talked about. And then what you going to be able to say then? Oh, it was just a joke. It was funny. But not, would it be funny if it happened to you? Very tone deaf. I didn't like that. I didn't. I'm not, and during this economy, I'm not about to talk about nobody being evicted and make light of it. I'm not. That's terrible. That is terrible. But, yeah. Anyway. I don't have any more in-game Jaguar Wright. Jaguar Wright in-game S-Dot files. These names on the S-Dot file. Girl, I will not. Jaguar Wright to get somebody real motherfucking roasted around this person, around this place. Chris Stefano explains his homoerotic feelings, then kisses Theo. What? Huh? Oh, wow. That's crazy. I don't know. I think white people just have fun. They just have fun. I'm glad I didn't show. Oh! I'm so happy that didn't show up on my live. What just happened, y'all? Oh, my gosh. All right. Okay, anyway. Been over here for like 30 minutes. It's not even... Oh, Quad! That's a crazy situation, Quad. I am so sorry you're going through that. I am. But I told you to be careful, sweetie. When you posted all them pictures on Instagram, I said, be careful, girl, because not everybody likes to see us happy. I don't know how she took it. But, yeah, girl. Yeah, girl. Nicki Minaj, I don't give a damn. Racist dating site leaked. Nicki Minaj, I don't give a damn about what you got to say, baby. It is what it is. You got what you got. Congratulations. I don't accept it. You knew what you was doing. Because if the shit was lucrative for you, you wouldn't apologize. No, ma'am. I don't accept that. Ooh, he's responded? Hold up.
Well, that was quick. Todd Tucker's responding to Candy's accusations that he's living in her guest house rent-free. Yes, a squatter. He's saying the only reason he's living in the guest house is because she kicked him out of the main house.
Here we go now.
Welcome back to the Kempire Channel, your #1 source for pop culture news and music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. As always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. Don't forget the Kempire After Dark, a live show, returns to New York City on Friday, March 13th. That is a month from today. Get your tickets if you're in the DC, tri-state area. Get your tickets. Come on and join the fun. It's nothing like you see here on YouTube or anywhere else. But if you can't make it to New York City, there is a live stream option. So no matter where you are in the United States or the world, you will be able to be a part of the show. Ticket information on the Kempire After Dark, a live show, will be available in the description. So it was just yesterday evening that we reported to you about Candy accusing Todd of not contributing to the children financially, living in her guest house that she bought before their marriage for free. She shared a lot in these court documents. As you may recall, Candy also wanted to have this divorce sealed. Todd did not. So now we're getting to see it all play out here on these social media streets and in court. So, according to TMZ in their exclusive, another exclusive, I wonder who sent this story to TMZ. So according to TMZ, they said Kandi Burruss' estranged husband, Todd Tucker, is firing back at her claim that he's living rent-free in her guest home, saying that she's the one who kicked him out of the main house without notice. Todd filed court docs responding to Kandi's claim that he was essentially squatting in the guest home at her Atlanta property. In his filing, Todd admitted that he was living in the guest house, but he said it because Kandi unilaterally removed him from the main home by directing his family members to relocate his stuff without his consent. We have to remember, according to the streets, and according to our last video and Funky Dineva and multiple sources, Todd apparently cheated on Kandi multiple times. I told you this in my exclusive when this news broke that she was getting a divorce. I heard that he had multiple women, allegedly. So in his filing, Todd admits that he's living in the guest house, but he said it was because Kandi unilaterally removed him from the main home by directing his family members to relocate his stuff without his consent and without court intervention. Sidebar, not to bring it back and involve Phaedra in of it all, but remember, Phaedra was a little upset because they allowed Apollo to store some of his stuff after they were going through their marriage trouble on their property. It just kind of gave me a flashback to that. I'm not saying it's the same, it just brought me back to that moment. Okay, and subsequently really was the cause of the breakdown in the friendship between Kandi and Phaedra. I'm not forgetting the dungeon of it all. I'm just saying this is where we started to see breaks in the friendship. So Todd said that he did not voluntarily leave the home, but did not fight Kandi about it in order to, quote, preserve peace and stability. Todd says that Kandi has been in New York working on a Broadway project while he has been in Georgia caring for their kids. According to Kandi, she's like, I'm paying for a nanny that's picking up the slack while I'm in New York. And I'm still flying back and forth between doing 8 shows a week and going to Atlanta to take care of the kids. And she also claims that whole narrative about daddy daycare, we all know about that. She's saying that was just for social media. She says that is not real. Todd is just as busy as I am and traveling as much as she is. As TMZ Verse reported, Kandi slammed Todd, claiming that he wasn't paying a dime in rent or any bills connected to the property. She also asserts that he hasn't helped, sidebar, just speaking from an astrological perspective. But if you're new here, we love to talk astrological signs. Kandi is a Taurus, Todd is a Leo. Knowing me as a Taurus, I can see Kandi never allowing Todd to pay for anything in that home because she's like, that's my property. And especially if things were going sour and she saw things were going sour, you're not going to pay for anything here. You're not going to have any sort of claims to this property. If this is a property she bought on her own. But you never know. Sometimes people in divorces get spiteful and they're like, well, I paid mortgages. I did this. I fixed this. I put that into this. She probably never, and he probably never volunteered either because you know what Mama Joy said about Todd. So she also asserts that he hasn't helped with bills related to their kids. So that's an important part. Ace and Blaze specifically, she said that she covered all expenses for 2 birthday parties thrown since the couple split late last year. In court docs, Todd alleged before the split, they both added money into a bank account to use for expenses. He claims after the separation, Kandi told him she would stop using the account and would pay the bills herself. Do you have that in writing?
Right.
Text? Just asking. Todd said that Kandi now attempts to reframe and weaponize this self-created financial arrangement as evidence of financial instability or neglect, while the timing and sequence of the events demonstrate otherwise. I mean, I said to you, us getting this story from TMZ yesterday, I said I wouldn't be surprised if Kandi was the one who sent it to TMZ. Just saying. She could be a woman scorned. Has anyone ever cheated on you? We're lucky she ain't burning cars and stuff. Wasn't it Angela Bassett? Sorry.
Yes.
According to Todd, he says that Kandi has been making nasty statements against him in an effort to shift the focus away from her extended and ongoing physical absence from the kids and her reliance on a third-party caregiver. Todd says the judge should give him primary legal and physical custody on a temporary basis until a permanent parenting arrangement is put in place. I also told you this as a Taurus. Sometimes when we're going through trauma and issues and emotions, we do throw ourselves into our work. Hence why I wasn't surprised Kandi threw herself into this Broadway show. But the timeliness of this and what she's going through might not work out in her favor, unfortunately. And I know a lot of women that are working moms are probably triggered by a story like this, or if you've gone through a divorce, like, why am I being penalized for working and taking care of this household? So as TMZ previously reported, Kandi filed for divorce in November of 2025. She demanded joint custody, but switched her request to sole custody after Todd requested sole custody. Because it seems like he was starting to get dirty. This is going to be interesting. I know we joke and say that Mama Joyce was right, but the more that this plays out over the last few months, the more I'm like, Mama Joyce and Natalie may have been right about Todd. And I'm not saying that Todd didn't work and do his own thing. We knew he was a producer behind the scenes on RHOA. But can we be honest? Can we call a thing, as Iyanla Vanzant would say? Todd probably would never have had the opportunities that he has now and name recognition without a Kandi Burruss.
I don't know about that. Todd was already working for Bravo when he met Kandi. Todd met Kandi working for Bravo. So he had something. He had something going for him, Kempire. He had something. Okay?
We can argue in the comments, but I'm not going to be there.
Hell no.
Y'all can argue amongst yourselves. Remember, we don't moderate adults. Can y'all believe what's happening? So Todd is claiming the only reason why he's living in the guest house is because she kicked him out of the main house. Is it because you cheated, Todd?
Let me tell you what happened. Kandi ain't had to do nothing. Mama Joyce was already waiting. His stuff was already out before Kandi even knew what was going on. Mama Joyce and them sisters had already had it going on. Already. I don't know what y'all think, or who y'all think them ladies is, but they about that life. Mama Joyce did it. It wasn't Kandi.
Just asking. Guys, as always, if you missed the previous video where we talk more about what Funky Dineva said and who the lady might be, go check out that last video. I'll tag it somewhere in here as well. Guys, let's continue this conversation in the comment section, but don't forget the Kempire After Dark live show is happening March 13th here in New York City. So get your tickets for in-person tickets, meet and greet tickets. But if you can't come to New York, there is a live stream ticket only for this show.
Awesome. Good job. Thank you so much, Kempire, for that. You sent it to us and you wrapped it right on up in a bowl. Wrapped it right on up in a bowl. But anyway. So, y'all, we have been on for about 46 minutes. I'm trying to get to... I'm trying to get to an hour, but... I don't know what the hell happened just now. I just ain't got nothing else to talk about. I really don't. But this has been fun. And please keep tuning in. I am not talking about that damn... No. Anyway, thank y'all for...